Good morning, Rabbi. Yesterday we spoke about some of the halachot of fish and meat, fish and dairy together. Spoke about the sakana element, the element of danger involved. A question that was posed to me yesterday by a few people, which is a very legitimate question, is we know that the Gemara is full of all sorts of medical and other kinds of refuas gulit, meaning all sorts of medicine that we don't necessarily follow today, all sorts of things that the Gemara says that are good for this and not so good for that, and many of these things don't necessarily apply anymore. So why is it that we're careful about these kinds of things? For instance, the fish and meat, fish and dairy for those who are makpid. Why is it that we're still makpid about that? So the answer is very simple. The answer is when the Gemara says certain things are good for a medical purpose, and we know that not necessarily to be the case anymore, it's possible because of nishtanu atva'im, the nature of people has changed, the world's changed a little bit, and therefore many of these things don't necessarily work anymore. However, with regards to things that the Gemara says is sakana, things that the Gemara says is dangerous, whether or not we understand the danger behind these things, we know that there's a concept that the Chachamim teach us, Chamira sakanta Yisura, the danger is even more stringent than Isurim. A person has to be much more careful about, a person has to guard his life. So if the Chachamim, whether we understand it or not, and Be'ezat Hashem in the following days, we'll speak about things that the Chachamim tell us are dangerous. Whether or not we see the danger, we understand the danger, but if it's dangerous, like we said yesterday, the Gemara says that a person who eats fish and meat, it is a sakana ledavar acher. A person is susceptible to get tzara'at. When was the last time you saw a person break out in tzara'at after eating fish and meat? Even though you don't see it necessarily, but a person can become susceptible. It's misugal for this thing. The Gemara says it's sakana. When the Gemara says beferush it's sakana, a person has to stay away. And there are many other such things in the Gemara. Those things, even if modern medicine tells us doesn't necessarily apply anymore, nevertheless, a person still has to take care because of the mitzvah. A person has to be careful. Be'ezat Hashem in the following days we'll speak about some more examples.